Hi babies. Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit more sensitive, and it's dealing with an abusive relationship. Common misconception is that a lot of people think that you can just leave, and it's not as easy as it sounds. You can be afraid and you can be worried about what can happen in the future or what can they do to you. Sometimes people that are in abusive relationships themselves don't even see it and someone else sees it. So it's really hard to recognize, honestly. If we're thinking about leaving, I know that you're probably like, I can fix him, I can change him, like he's only acting like this because he's upset. No, if this is a constant pattern and he is not changing, then you need to leave the relationship. Those good moments that you've had with him cannot make up for all of the bad ones. Not gonna lie, detaching from someone can be really hard, even if it's someone that mistreats you, but you need to give yourself the mental discipline to try to run away and start detaching yourselves from that. Just because you've been with him for a long time doesn't mean that he has any right to treat you the way that he's treating you. You can leave the relationship at any given point. It will do anything to change the narrative in your mind just for them to feel like they're not as bad as you think they are. You know your story more than anybody else. That's something that I always used to say. You know what has happened and you know that feeling that you have in your chest more than anybody else, so nobody else can tell you otherwise how you feel. Now, how do you actually end up leaving the relationship? Because it could be difficult. Sometimes I honestly just suggest the best way to leave the relationship is to leave quietly. Do not show any signs that you're planning on leaving. If he's at work, if he's like sleeping, that is your best time to leave. If you're living with him, start moving your stuff to another place. If he has contact with you, literally block him the second that you are out of his life. Leave. Make sure you tell your family, because honestly, this guy could be pretty crazy and he could actually go after one of your family members. To block him on everything. I'm telling you, like literally even WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, because he will find a way to contact you if he's crazy enough. Leave that relationship. You have to make sure that your loved ones don't end up telling him where you are, because most likely he's going to end up contacting all your friends, all your family. You have to give anybody an explanation. If somebody asks, just be like, we broke up, just don't let him know where I am, and that's it. That's all you have to tell somebody, because it's not their business. Once you get to this point where you can leave, you will feel so much happy. All he has been doing is bringing you down, and you don't deserve to be in an abusive relationship, sweetie. Being lonely is so much better than being with company that you don't feel loved in. You're gonna realize that being by yourself is so much better company than being with toxic people, toxic friends, toxic relationships. So just know, be strong. I know it's hard. My DMs on Instagram are always open, and you guys got this. Love you guys so much, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Hi guys, today we're going to show you how to have a healthy conversation when a problem gets brought up in a relationship. As sometimes you just don't know what a healthy conversation sounds like, and there's no one to blame for that except probably our parents and the opioid epidemic. So let's just get into it.
Opioid epidemic?
We're just going to show you an example of a conversation that isn't healthy, which might be all you've ever heard. Why didn't you text me back?
I was working out.
Working out and doing what? I bet when you were in the gym and you weren't texting me, it's because you were looking at all that ass that all those bitches had in the gym. You're a cheater. That's all you'll ever be, is a cheater. It just takes 1 second to text back. 1 second. You not care about me?
Babe, I was hitting chest with Hunter.
Really? Because if you cared about me, you would text back immediately. So many other men out there that will text me back immediately. The fact that you don't, I don't think I can be with you.
Why are you talking about other men? I love you.
Well, you've been looking at other girls all day, because that's why you're not texting me back.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so that's what an unhealthy conversation looks like. Now we're gonna try the same thing again, but we're gonna take a different approach, and it's understanding, putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Remember guys, it's not you against your boyfriend, it's y'all against the problem. The problem here is the fact that we don't agree on text back time. So let's try again. Babe, why did it take you so long to text me back when you're at the gym? I'm just curious.
No worries. So Hunter and I were hitting chest, and like we were slamming it like really hard. You know, we were off the pre-workout. I'm sorry. You know what? I'll make sure I text you back next time.
Okay, yeah, because it makes me nervous when I don't get a text back immediately, and like that's obviously not your fault. That's me and what I've dealt with in the past, and I would appreciate you just like texting me, even if it's just like, oh, I'm at the gym right now and I'm a little busy, like I'll text you later text, just so I know that you are doing something.
Baby, I'm so sorry you felt that way. Or I'll give you a heads up and I'll say, hey, by the way, the next 30 minutes, I'm working out. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's all I needed. All right, guys, hopefully your conversation can go something like that. Remember, it's about understanding the other person and not accusing anyone of anything too fast. Love you guys.
Hey guys, get ready me for dinner date night. Okay, I am running late, so I'm rushing a bit. But I just got my hair blown out today, and look at how like curly and bouncy it is. I feel like it looks so freaking cute. It was a lot bigger and bouncier when I got it done earlier today, but my boyfriend and I just went and got massages. So it definitely flattened out a lot, but I hope it holds until tomorrow because we're going to a movie premiere in the evening, so I want my hair to look like this, and I'm really praying that it stays. I removed all my makeup from earlier today because it was looking so crusty, and I already did my skin prep. But I need to show you guys what I got from Hourglass today because they have these cutest like little palettes that you can custom. Also, next week's my boyfriend's birthday, so tonight's like my little treat for him for his birthday. I don't think I've ever done my makeup this fast in my life. It's been 5 minutes since I started this whole video, and I think I'll be done in the next probably 2 minutes, but I still need to change. I don't really know what I want to wear yet. Okay, this is the palette I got from Hourglass. This is like a store exclusive, so you can't get this in Sephora, I believe. Look. And then I got these little like charms to go with it, so you can custom make it. And I got my initial and then my horoscope. So this one's the horoscope. And then this one's my initial. And this is the palette here. And there's 2 like holes right here, and you just put the little charms in. It just snaps on like that. I think it's magnetic. This is so cool. Look how cute. It's like customizable. And then this is the palette I got. Oh my gosh, it's stunning. Okay, I'm gonna use the bronzer a bit. The good thing about having lashes is that you save so much time doing your makeup. Okay, now I'm gonna do a bit of this pink. Actually, I'm gonna mix this peachy one with the pink one for blush. I love these palettes so freaking much. And this is, I thought I'd just share because I feel like this is such a cute like Christmas gift idea you can add to your list. Okay, I literally just did my lip liner so fast, and I'm just gonna do this Rode lip tint. I don't think I've ever gone ready this fast in my life. Okay, this is my outfit. I don't really love it, but we gotta go.
Here is my very ambitious November TBR. Now, I was at Barnes & Noble multiple times around my birthday, which is on Halloween, and I was able to, my dad bought me some of these books, and then I bought some books because, you know, treat yourself and treat me because it's my birthday. So I'm going to go over with you what I want to read, what I'm most looking forward to, and there are some books coming out that I'm excited for, so let's get into it. Number 1 is Endless Anger by Savin Miller. It just caught my eye almost immediately. Do I know much about this? No, but it says Monsters Within Book 1. Now listen, if I start reading this and I find out that there's not another book out yet, I'm gonna freak out. It's always the ones that are so good that suck you in immediately that don't have another book, and then you're screwed. Next is Distance Beneath the Mask by Luna Mason. This book is kind of giving me more of a like October vibe, but because I didn't read it in October, we're gonna read it in November. Next is going to be People Watching. I've heard very mixed reviews about this. I'm going to give my honest review after I read it, but it's definitely giving me November, like, cozy vibes. One of my most anticipated reads is Stephen King 11/22/63. I've heard so many good things about this book, but she's a thick mama. So, as you can see, a lot of these were on the buy one, get one 50% off, and I love a good deal. So, the B.K. Borson Good Spirit looks just, the cover, look how pretty, and like look at these sprayed edges. I absolutely had to have it. Breathe With Me by Becca Mack. I heard that, Breathe With Me by Becca Mack. I heard this was really, really good. And I'm kind of looking for like something that will make me cry. And I feel like I've seen people cry on the internet over this book. Chase the Wild by Elliot Rose. This being, look how pretty. Look at those sprayed edges. Like, she's a pretty girly like book, and so I had to get it. Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. Now, I have not read the other books, but this looks very cute, and it's giving a like Hallmark Christmas movie, so let's do it. Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. I read some of her books. I like them, and this just looked really cutesy, again, along with the Christmas spirit. And then Reese Witherspoon Gone Before Goodbye by Harlan Coben. I've seen a lot of good things about this, and I'm very interested to read it. I'm trying to broaden my horizons a little bit. I did just turn 30, so I'm trying to read some new things. Now, I am a romance-only girly, so as you can see, there's a couple other things in here that are not strictly romance. Again, this is my very ambitious November TBR, so follow along to see if I actually end up doing this.
My sister-in-law said I don't deserve my new home. Now their family is in shambles. My husband, 38 male, and I, 33 female, just bought our first house. My husband has a pretty high-paying job. I work and make a decent salary. But our budget to buy our house was definitely influenced more by his earnings. By the way, this comes from user Cat Drama on the Too Hot Takes subreddit. And if you want to submit your own stories, why don't you go over to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, we had his family over last week. Generally, I loved his parents. They have always been really good to me, and they're fun. I've not spent as much time with his sister outside of holiday gatherings, but we do have her son, the husband's nephew, stay with us for a week over the summer the last few years. So I know him well too, and I love him. Everyone mentioned above comes over and we show them around the house. At one point, I'm showing sister-in-law the kitchenette in the basement, and I say something like, "It's great that our house has this space now, so if you want to visit us, you'll have basically a whole separate apartment." And she goes, "Our? Is it also your house?" I'm immediately confused, but also I guess she could have assumed my husband had bought it on his own. So I said, "Yeah, we bought it together." And she goes, "Do you think you deserve to own half of this house?" I was shocked, and I mostly panicked. And I said, "Well, I do, yeah." I fled to the basement. I immediately told my husband away from his family, and he, in turn, immediately went to talk to his sister. I went to hang out with his parents and didn't say anything to them, but then we heard shouting outside. My husband and his sister were yelling at each other. I know people are different with their siblings, but I've never really heard him yell before. I could hear him tell her that we don't have a prenup, and she called him an idiot. I had to tell his parents what was going on, and they went and intervened and left pretty quickly with his sister and nephew, who didn't hear any of this through the magic of video games, I think. His mom said sorry to me on the way out. I did touch base with my husband, and he was livid, like way more angry than I'd expect. He told me that before we got married, his sister was the beneficiary of his life insurance, and he thought she was angry over essentially being removed from all his assets. We'd been married for 3 years. She apparently had texted him about being added onto the house paperwork a few weeks ago during the buying process, and he'd just ignored her.
That's actually
rightfully so, because that's cringe. His parents have reached out to me and have been very sweet and apologetic, but they really want to fix things and have asked if I'll talk to sister-in-law. I'm trying to step away from it and just say it's now between my husband and his sister. Is that fair? Of course, I'm a bit hurt by her saying that, but at the end of the day, if she has problems with how he's handling his assets, that's between the two of them. Right? I feel really bad because his family has always been so sweet and I really love his nephew, so I also want things to be fixed. There is an edit. I will make an update, but we have plans to chat about it today, speak to his parents, and figure out how we want to go forward. I agree with essentially all of you, and I'm not planning to discuss it with her until she apologizes. And to answer some common questions, nephew's dad is not and has not been in the picture for a long time. Sister-in-law has been in and out of relationships with not the best type of dudes. She is younger and there's no other siblings. Yes, there's been a pattern of her getting more help from their parents, but it's because she really needs it, being a single mom, and my husband has always been pretty independent. I promise I don't tell every person on the street about our lack of a prenup. My husband did come into the marriage with a lot of assets, so I think when his friends and family expressed curiosity about a prenup, it was coming from a place of concern or care for him, and I love that, so it felt appropriate to share how we made that decision. No one ever pushed back. I've never talked to his sister about it, and I think she didn't know, but my husband sort of yelled at her in anger in a "we don't even have a prenup" kind of way. We were planning on kids, but could still keep up what we are currently doing for nephew even if we did, and he just became an official teenager, so the college fund is close to complete. At this stage, we don't add much money to it anymore. It's just accruing. Comments. Comment number 1. What could you possibly say to your sister-in-law? Exactly. I think you say that the issue isn't really about you. It's about how sister-in-law thinks everything that's your husband's is also hers. That's something your husband needs to set straight, not you. You just sit there and stay pleasant. You handled this perfectly. It's not your battle and your husband has your back. Clearly, sister-in-law sounds insane. OP says, I know this is right, but it's just really frustrating. We've had the awkward conversation of explaining why we don't have a prenup to some friends and family, and I really don't mind getting into those topics or talking about those things. I know this is different because she's not coming from a place of curiosity or just wanting to understand, but it's wild to me that it jumped this quickly so suddenly when we bought a house. Comment number 2 says, I don't think you need to do anything. Your husband took care of his greedy sister for you. And we have an update, so let's get into it. Holy crap, y'all. I was not expecting that much feedback. Holy moly. Y'all, I was not expecting that much feedback, but I'm super grateful. It was really affirming and validating to read a lot of those comments. And a bit humbling, too. This recent move did move us a little bit out of town, so I'm still close to my social circle, but didn't immediately have someone to vent to. And you all were really helpful in that way. So, update. She was secretly planning to make him disappear to get his life insurance money. Just kidding. No, not really. After talking a bunch with both my husband and his parents, we figured out a few things. He didn't tell her that he's replaced her as the beneficiary on everything because he assumed she would know that. So she had texted him during the home purchase, "Hey, do you need my signature on anything for this new house?" He had messaged her back, "No? Question mark, question mark, question mark." She then essentially asked if the house was an asset set up like his life insurance, and he told her that everything is set up fine and that I'm on all the paperwork, and she responded, "Okay," smiley face. So I do think part of this is her truly not knowing how marriage is supposed to work, and she seems to have expected there wouldn't be any change. I found out she also mentioned this with their parents, her main concern being that if something happened to my husband, I wouldn't help her son like we've been doing as a couple. Mother-in-law and father-in-law say they told her not to worry and that I love our nephew, but that's what was going on behind the scenes before all of this. Mother-in-law and father-in-law also admitted that they may have unintentionally encouraged this because they've always really encouraged their kids to support each other. But due to the various dynamics at play, what that ends up being is pressure on my husband and a sort of "your brother will always be there for you" message to his sister. This was particularly strong in the last few years before I met and married him, because his parents thought he was planning to be a lifelong bachelor. They're not wrong in this. He definitely had that mindset at that time. And so then he and his sister really were, in their eyes, each other's lifelong person. So the last few years, there had been this level of fallout I wasn't even aware of due to that. I also learned sister-in-law is in a not so great financial situation. Due to past issues, the whole family essentially refuses to give her cash, but will do things like buy groceries or pay phone bills, etc. So she's been struggling, and I think feeling a little desperate and jealous. Oh, of course, none of this is an excuse, and I'm not speaking to her until I get an apology. My husband has also said he needs at least a week or two before he speaks to her, but he does plan to. His parents are totally in agreement and understand. They're going to tell her that we talked about the dynamics at play and that she needs to acknowledge what is going on here and take accountability for her part in it. So hopefully that'll start things off in the right direction. Being too understanding and too flexible has been a difficulty for me for a long time. Having feedback about how truly effed up the situation was really helpful for me. So thank you. For me, there's a fine line between being unbothered and being a doormat, and I'm definitely working on differentiating those two. And that is the end of that story.
So if you haven't seen, there is a girl who is calling churches and asking them if they can please give her formula for her baby because she ran out last night and she is in desperate need of help because her baby is starving. And a lot of them at this point have said no. I think it is up to 33 churches now. And what I think is so interesting is that a lot of these churches that say no also support overseas missions. One of the churches actually said that they are not able to help and that they only help their members. Like it is a Costco membership. So I went ahead and went to their page thinking maybe they can't help. Maybe their members really need their help. Maybe this is a very small church. No, it looks huge actually. And they have many different outreach programs. And I went to this part of their page where they do lots of different mission trips. But no, they cannot help the starving baby that is going hungry in their city. Now, I have seen some people say that what if these churches think that it is a scam and they are afraid that they are going to give her this small thing of formula and she is going to go sell it for money? What if? Okay, I really believe that Jesus would have taken that risk 100% to help a starving baby. And there are some really great churches that she has called. Some mosques have helped out. I think a Buddhist temple. And also there was one sweet, I think, Baptist pastor who was like, I will drive it to you right now. And I'm thankful because my grandparents were actually pastors and they really loved their community. They lived this stuff out. They 100% would have gotten this woman formula. And my grandma always taught me that if you see someone in need, you give them money. And I remember as a kid, she would tell me, you never know if any of these people are Jesus in disguise. You never know if it's an angel or if God just wants to see if you would be generous. So be generous to everybody and do not hold back. And the fact that a lot of these churches, they're answering the phone, but I think what people aren't realizing is not only are they not giving her the formula, they're not being kind to her either. They're not acting empathetic. They aren't even asking to pray for her, get connected with her. And why can't they get off the phone, send a chat to some of the church leaders and say, hey, this woman called. Is there any way anybody can donate? Can we ask our congregation if there's anything we can do for this woman? Nobody has asked for her information to what I have seen. So yeah, I really don't think that that's an excuse.
So this is the last time I will be going on a drive to clear my head again, because I almost cleared myself up to heaven. Well, actually more so hell. There's a fresh story. Actually 2 hours out from it. Still hitting the same. I'm starting to shake. So today's presently Saturday, and it's okay. Why would you need to clear your head? It's Saturday. No more work. Come on, relax. Something about this little noggin here. Oh, baby, she never relaxed. So I wake up in a good mood, but some way through my day, I want to say about hour 1, hour 2 of me being awake, instantly I'm just hit with doom and gloom. I don't even know why. I don't know if my stomach issue started it or if it was me scrolling on my TikTok and seeing a dog get put down. That ruined my fucking day. I think that actually was it. But I fell down a rabbit hole and I just started getting like upset. I don't know. I started playing, sad Post Malone, I Fall Apart. Just one of those days, okay? Now, I used to do this a lot back in high school and beginning of college. I thought that my car was a vessel that I could just take anywhere. It was a go-kart with endless gas. Gas is not endless. But in my head, it was. Wherever I wanted to go, I had a car, so my car could take me. Okay? You want to go across the country? Perfect. Pile up. Come on, I have a Nissan Versa for a reason. Now, as I've started allegedly maturing and starting to find myself and go through my finances and my statements, there's no reason that 90% of my expenses should be gas. Absolutely the fuck not. So we calmed down on that. And also, my car ended up exploding from how far I fucking drove it. I'm not even kidding, probably 20,000 miles on it in the span of 1 year. Not normal. So I calmed down from that and I was like, okay, I need to cope in other ways, right? Because when I would get like upset or slightly disgruntled, I would just be like, all right, drive time. And I literally would just drive around for like an hour to 2 hours, just random parts of my fucking state, okay? Sometimes even would look and I'd be in a whole different state. Confusing. I would just have to do a U-turn, okay? So today was one of those days and I was like, okay, like I feel like I'm gonna relapse and go back to driving around to just, stare at the road and deal with my emotions. My emotions that I don't even understand why I'm upset. But it honestly would help. Like I would just disassociate and drive and then I would blink and be in like a whole different city. And I'd be like, okay, like, I don't know, like a little rebreath. So I put my hoodie on, I exhale deeply, and I'm like, all right, car time. Come on, my car's gonna hate to see me come. Get in my car, and I had no clear destination. That's the key point there. Normally, I don't have a clear destination, but I'll put on, like, maps to, like, a rural part of my state and be like, okay, like, just keep swimming. Like, I feel like Dory. This time, though, I was like, no maps, because maps are going to piss me off, and my phone's pissing me off right now, so I'm just going to quite literally get on the car, get onto the highway, and just keep driving. And so I fucking did. And something about me, I live 15 minutes away from our state's major-ass city. Right. And I also decided to have this crash out drive at around 3 p.m. So, we're moving around rush hour. Rush hour during the weekend, love it. Get in my car, I immediately start going left, right. Then I end up on the highway. And I'm like, okay, this is where I wanted to be. Like, the highway will take me somewhere far away. Just fucking go la, and stare at the road, right? Open road. So it seems to be I'm la-la-lying so intensely, right? And I'm actually speeding a little bit, too. And I'm like, what am I speeding to? Like, I don't even know where the fuck I'm going. But yet, I got pedal to the metal, right? People need to get out the fucking way. And I'm in my la days. And then I blink, and I'm like, oh, wait. I'm driving into the city right now. This is why I need to keep my maps on. Once again, no shade to my city. Love her. Very fucking cute, but that's not a good place to be driving around, right? It's very confusing. Cities stress me the fuck out. Don't want to be even more stressed out than I already am now, right? I just need open road to drive on. I want to see crop fields. I don't want to see pedestrians. Not at all. But I'm seeing all the signs with my major city on it, and I'm like... Hey, like, I think it's just a suggestion, right? Like, I'm like, there's no way I'm actually going into the city. Like, I know I'm going into the city, but I'm not processing it. I'm just like, okay, like, cute. I don't know. Roads are weird. Like, I literally would be driving sometimes. It would be like, it would be a sign, New York. New York is 4 hours away from me. I'm not going to New York. And when it really starts to hit me is when I'm driving and I actually see the tunnel to go into my fucking city. You know what? It's fine. It's not the end of the world. I've never driven that way to clear my head before. Normally, I go north, not south, all the way down to the city. But you know what? I'll go through the tunnel, it will spit me back out like a big piranha, and I'll be fucking fine. So I start creeping into the tunnel, and I creep fully into the tunnel. And am I claustrophobic? Probably. Tunnels are not my favorite thing. It's not like a whole thing of like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. Like, I close my eyes. It's not like I'm going over a bridge and I'm like peeing myself while in there. But like, it's just not an ideal place to be. And I want to get out of it as soon as possible before my mind starts making up fake ass scenarios. So I'm in the tunnel, and I'm in the tunnel for no less than 40 fucking seconds, right? And it's a long tunnel to like spit back out into the city. And keep in mind, the speed limit in this tunnel is pretty fucking fast. So I'm gliding, got my music playing, and all of a fucking sudden, the white beat up car in front of me puts its hazards on and starts slowing down aggressively. Now, he's so lucky I wasn't completely zoned out like I was before, because I slammed on the fucking brakes. Like, he floored it all the way to mileage 0. He was stopped. Okay. And I look over to the right of me, and there's, how do I describe this? It's me, the white car in front of me, and then the second lane, because there's 2 lanes in this tunnel. Second lane, there's a car that kind of looks like my car, and then a huge fucking truck, like huge. Not just like one of those trucks that like people have hay in their mouth and they're saying, come on, let's go to the rodeo. Like, not that type of truck, like a truck that's going to fucking Nebraska or Maine. Like one of those huge, like semi kind of trucks. But like it doesn't have the semi in the back. Like this, I'm not describing it right. But like they were pulling something in the back. Is someone coming to avenge me? Why are those helicopters? I'll deal with that later. I don't know what the fuck I did. Anyways, so now we're stopped in this lane and the second lane is also stopped. Like the truck has stopped and then there's a gap. Okay, confused. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck? And also when he came to that stop, forgot to mention, it was a loud ass fucking noise. Like loud as fuck, echoed throughout the whole time. My immediate thought was, is the walls coming off the tunnel? Like that was so fucking loud and now we're all stopped. Why are we stopped? Why are we? And I sit there and I'm like so not in the mood to talk to anybody, right? I'm very extroverted, but I'm like, I don't feel like seeing the people in the community right now. Like I'll just let them deal with it. And I see the truck driver like kind of get out of the car and then I see the guy to the right of me. The guy who stopped to the right of me, he gets out of his car and he walks over to the truck driver. And then the person that's sitting in front of me also gets out of their car and starts walking back really, really far to the end. I'm looking behind me. Now there's a traffic jam and I'm the second person in that traffic jam. That makes sense. Like I'm in back of the direct link to the traffic jam. I'm not even supposed to be in the tunnel right now. I'm sitting there and just so happened I really have to pee. Like that was my next stop on the itinerary of my non-existent errand run. Like I have to fucking pee. And we're just sitting there and I'm watching like these sim characters get out of the car, walk to the back of the line. People are looking around. I wait 10 minutes and then a lot of people start getting out their cars and walking to the front. And I'm like, maybe I should like investigate too, but like I don't even want to ask anyone. Like there's a girl that's my age that ends up like walking from all the way up like and back all the way to where I am. And she's like talking to like the guy and I'm like, maybe I should ask her. Like she seems sweet. But like she ended up walking back. She's on the phone with somebody. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? All these conspiracies are going through my head. I'm like, okay, is the tunnel about to close? Like I'm starting to get really fucking anxious at this point. Because I'm like, tunnels aren't my favorite thing. They're not my biggest, darkest fear. But I'm just starting to really lock into the fact that there's fish all around me in an enclosed space, right? And sharks and manta rays. Like I don't like this at all. And we're just fucking stopped here. And also the lights in the tunnel start flickering a little bit too. This is not my sinister mood. Now I want to say we're on minute 20 at this point. Now we're stopped for 20 fucking minutes. I'm starting to freak out at this point. And I start texting my group chat. I'm like, hey girls, like, what does one do in this situation? I'm asking my friends, I'm like, does anyone see anything on the news? They're like, they can't fucking see anything. I'm like, can somebody let me know, like, what is occurring right now? Because I'm too afraid to get out of my fucking car like an adult and go investigate. But like, why are we not moving? And it's been 20 fucking minutes. Finally, I start hearing sirens in the back and I'm like, oh my fucking God. And what do I see? I turn behind me. There's a crowd of fucking people, at least 40 fucking people standing outside of their... Like, you would have thought this was the biggest traffic jam in LA, but we're not in LA. We're on the East Coast, right? Not even New York. But there's like a herd, and then all of a sudden I see a police officer start sprinting, like, towards, like, where I am, like, where my car stopped. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, is this like a search warrant type of situation? Like, wrap it the fuck up. Because none of it's making sense. Why are 2 lanes fucking closed? He's sprinting. He starts screaming at the truck driver, who's like in not even my lane. I'm in the left lane. The truck driver's in the right lane. But like you can tell he's the one that stopped the whole traffic, even though he's just in one lane. He's screaming at him. The truck driver is screaming fucking back. I'm like, this got nothing to do with me. I need to get out of the tunnel. At this point, that's when I kind of like got conscious and I was like, I need to open my door, right? Like what's going on? Nosiness is like overwhelming me. So I open my fucking door and I peer my little snout out. I'm still confused. But the second I open my door and I peer my snout out, the first thing I hear out of the police officer's mouth, because he's talking to the guy that's directly in front of me, what does he say? He was like, okay, I need you guys to start like reversing. We're going to get everybody to reverse out of the tunnel. What the fuck is going on at this point? Why are we reversing out of the tunnel? There's 2 miles of backup and back of me. What? The guy in front of me is like, okay, like, sounds good. Starts looking at me. He's like, okay, so we're going to start backing up. Bitch, what? There's so many cars behind me. Am I playing bumper cars? And why are we doing this? What happened? Is the tunnel about to collapse? Just as the guy gets back in his car, I see the police officer sprint back over to him and I roll my window down. And he was like, actually, never mind. I'm going to get the truck driver to move into the left lane. And then we're just going to have this lane open, the right lane. Which confused me because at first I was like, okay, the tunnel's either collapsing or the truck broke down. Why is the truck moving lanes? None of it. Anyways, the truck ends up moving. Now at this point, we're 30 minutes. I'm thinking about peeing in a cup. I don't even have a... But I'm like shaking profusely. I'm like, I need to get out of this tunnel. I'm like, have so much fucking anxiety. Finally, the truck ends up moving and then we all start merging into one lane. When I merge into the right lane, I look to the left because I'm like, what? Like, is there a dead porcupine, like, in the road? What happened? I look over to the left lane. There's this huge metal cinder block that allegedly fell off the truck onto the left lane. And nobody could pick it up because it was so fucking heavy. So then I got out of the tunnel. And then I got lost in the city for another hour. And now I just got home from my drive. I'm going to start coping in other ways now. Because it's just not going to work.
The funniest propaganda to see women fall for is the provider man propaganda. You have Elon Musk, the wealthiest man in the world, who made sure that his jurisdiction was in Texas so that way he could be responsible to pay the least amount of money in child support for his 14 fucking children. You're talking about the president of the United States, who has more than enough money that he could single-handedly wipe out the debt that people have. That way people could fucking use SNAP benefits. You literally live in a world ruled by men where they are asking you for more money to pay for your rent, to pay for your groceries, to pay for your car to be maintained. And yet they refuse to increase your working wages. You literally live in a world where in order for you to get a college education, you have to be in like $100,000 in debt. And that's not even guaranteed that you're going to get a job after you put yourself in that much debt. Nothing in society was ever giving that men were providers. Ever. A lot of women that feed into this provider mindset propaganda are unintelligent, and they don't understand the dark history behind provider men existing. The reason why provider men existed in mass was because women had no rights. Women had no rights. The only way that a man was able to provide for you was when you couldn't get a house, you couldn't work a job, and you couldn't get a bank account. He literally was forced to take a grown adult woman and write her off as a dependent. That's not providing, that's forced parenting. That's exactly what that is. That's forced parenting of an adult when you have to take someone in because they don't have something. That's not a fucking relationship. That's not a marriage. That's forced parenting. If men naturally were providers, you wouldn't have to keep begging them and keep trying to get them to provide for you. Men are stingy. Have you looked around? Men are fucking stingy. Have you not heard the songs about men saying that they're not going to let their woman get half of their money? We want prenup. We want prenup. Like, men have been telling women forever how they lack generosity and how they really don't want to provide for you. But all it takes is for women to make content showing gifts that she most likely bought for herself with a fucking credit card because she can't afford it with liquid money, telling y'all that her provider man took care of it all. Meanwhile, you're overlooking the fact that this woman has like a fucking million followers. You don't know if these brands are reaching out to her and sending her this shit because guess what? She's making money. She doesn't have a provider man taking care of her. She's fucking providing for herself through the content that she's making. The provider propaganda is trying to condition women to fall back into this soft life, femininity mindset where you let men revoke all of your fucking rights and then you will be forced to have somebody to provide for you. Women want to live in this utopia world where they really think that they're going to be able to keep the life that they currently have and get a man to provide for them. Does that happen? It does happen. But in most cases, it's not going to happen to you or me. Okay, like, let's just be fucking real. If the baby mamas of Elon Musk have to sit here and get shortchanged for their children receiving child support because Elon Musk wants the jurisdiction to be in Texas, baby, you're not getting a provider. Okay, you're not getting a man who is going to give to you with full generosity from the kindness of his heart. It's not going to fucking happen. They need you to get comfortable with the idea that a man is going to come in and rescue you and save you by providing for you to get you comfortable enough where they start stripping away your rights more and more and more. Before you know it, it's going to be soft life to the point where they're going to reduce the hours that you can clock in at work. Then they're going to reduce you being able to go into the workplace at all. Then if you're married and you're the owner of the home, they're going to make you sign it over to your husband. All of your credit cards that you have, they're going to make you put it under his name and give it all to him. Like, the provider propaganda was never for women because there has never been a long-term repeated time that showed that men were ever generous or that they ever wanted to provide for you. When you look around, we do not have a reminder that men want to provide for women. They don't want to provide. Their hearts are not open to want to take care of women. The only time men want to provide for you is because you have nothing, because then you're easier to control. Because men know that when women have all of the resources and everything that they need, no woman with any common sense would be choosing to deal with a man when she is thriving in all assets of her life.
Petty and passive aggressive things I've done to men in the past. Part 2. Nah, you know what? I've always kept it real with y'all, and I'm not about to start switching now. Psychotic. This is psychotic shit that I've done to men in the past. So this story isn't really me being petty or passive aggressive. It's really just me being a psycho and seeing how far I could go. So I was dating this guy, and he was a really good guy. To this day, I have nothing bad to say about him. He was a sweetheart. But he was like head over heels in love with me, and he would tell me that like every single day. Like, I was so loved by him. Every day he told me like, I love you, I love you, I love you so much. Anyways, though, y'all gotta understand, I was a substance abuser back in the day. So I would just do shit. And one day I wanted to see just how much he really loved me. So one day I busted in his room, right? All dramatic as shit. But I like sad dramatic. I sit in the bed and I look at him real serious. He's looking at me like, what's wrong with you, babe? What's wrong? I'm like, man, I'm tired of not having shit. Tired of this fucking shit. Struggling to pay bills and shit. I ain't got no fucking car. I just going the fuck off, right? And he's consoling me and shit, right? He's comforting me. And he's like, baby, don't worry. You know, I just got this new job. We're going to be okay. Just give us a couple months. I'll save up my checks and we're going to be all right. And I'm like, man, fuck that job. We need real money. And so I get real quiet. I get real serious. And I'm like, look, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I did my homework, okay? I want to stick up this place, okay? I want to stick up the bank around the corner. He dead ass looked at me. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? No. What the fuck are you on tonight? Are you on anything tonight? And I'm like, no. Lies. He flat out fucking told me no that night, right? Like, flat out, like, no, you need to go to fucking sleep. You need to sleep off whatever the fuck is in your system, and you're not leaving the house for the next 3 fucking days because you're out of your fucking mind. Little did he know I had a bunch of the shit in my purse. But anyways. So that was the first day. The next day, day 2, I'm still trying to convince him, right? I'm still pushing this shit, right? And and I'm getting really fucking elaborate about it, right? Because he knows I used to be a dancer, so I used to know people. And I was like, look, I got a friend from Brazil. He's got boats. We can like drive to Florida and we'll boat out to fucking, I don't know what the fuck. I was just making up shit, right? Just seeing how far I could go. And he's still like, no, but I could tell it's like a soft no. You know what I mean? Like yesterday he was like, no, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then today I was like, no. You know what I mean? So I keep going. On the 3rd fucking day, right? I show him, I'm like, look, this place is really little. We lived in a really small town at the time, right? And the bank was like teeny itty bitty tiny. It had one security guard that I could have knocked out. Like dead ass. I'm not that I'm this big tough bitch or whatever, but like dead ass, he couldn't have been more than 120 soaking wet. I'm a big bitch. I could have knocked his ass out clean. So I tell him, I'm like, look, I'm gonna handle the security guard. Like I'll handle that. And then you go get the money, right? And we'll be in and out. It's a tiny bank, no problem, right? And then I got the escape plan figured out and everything. Tell me why this motherfucker is like, he's not saying no. He's like slowly nodding his head. And I'm like, oh shit. And bitch. On the 4th day, I left right for a couple hours because I had a job to go to. And I came back. Tell me why this motherfucker came home with a bunch of supplies. He had masks. He had like nightsticks. He had gloves. Like rope. I was what the fuck is the rope for? I had to tell him I had to come clean right there. Cause I was like, oh my God, I really convinced this motherfucker. That scared the fuck out of me. I never looked at him the same after that. I was like, damn, it only took 3 days. This other time, I convinced I convinced my boyfriend, this is the abusive one that I was with for 5 years, that I is here. Okay, I convinced him that he had early onset dementia. So like I said, I was in this very abusive relationship for 5 years, right? And I was like super trapped. I didn't have a mom to go to. I didn't have a dad. I couldn't go to my siblings because they were too young at the time and couldn't do anything for me. I had no friends. He completely alienated me. I didn't have a car, didn't have my own money. He was super financially abusive. Like I was trapped. So I just started getting fucking creative. Cause he was so abusive. He would say and do such mean shit to me. So like I started getting creative with ways to like get him back without him knowing it's me or having proof it's me. You know what I mean? I had just started learning what narcissism was and gaslighting was, right? To study him and figure him out. And so one day I just got the fucking idea to make his life just one big gaslight. Make him think he's completely losing his fucking mind. We lived together, right? 5 years we lived together. I lived in hell for 5 years. So I started with the car, right? I would move his car like 1 or 2 spots over from where he parked it, right? And that's he wouldn't really say anything, but I could see it on his face. Like he's confused. And then I started fucking with the seasonings in the house, right? Like I swapped the salt for sugar because they look the same. I would swap the cayenne pepper for cinnamon. They're similar colors. Shit like that. I would swap the Old Bay for Louisiana seasoning. Like stuff like that, right? So that when he would go use it for his food, shit would taste off, right? And then I had my own separate seasoning that I put to the side, and every time that I cooked, the food would be fine. I'd be like, babe, what the fuck? Everything tastes normal to me. And I'd sit at the dinner table eating like, well, you know, honey, you're getting older. Maybe, maybe your body's just changing. You would get mad like, no, my body's not fucking changing. I know what the fuck. I know what the fuck. This one was my favorite. We would go to the grocery store, right? And like I said, I didn't have a car at the time when I was dating him. I wasn't allowed to have one. But I did have a spare key he had a spare key that he would leave in his desk that he didn't know that I knew about, right? So I would take that key every time we were about to go to the grocery store, and I would tell him, babe, I gotta go use the bathroom or whatever. Instead of going to the bathroom, I would run off and move the car to like the opposite side of the fucking grocery store, and then I would run back in, right, like normal. And then we would pay for our shit and leave. He'd be walking to the part where he parked his car, but I'd be like, babe, we parked all the way over here. Real serious. We parked all the way over here. Like, I know where the fuck I parked my car. And I'm like, okay. And then he would get there, the car's not there. And then we'd go to where I said it was. I'm like, you see, babe? I don't know. I think you need to go to the doctor, babe. I think, you've got. And then one day I was cleaning the house out, right? And I found these stacks of papers. You know how when you go to the doctor, they kind of like give you a receipt? Like they'll give you like, oh, like here, this is what you need to do, change your diet or exercise or do this. I found like a stack of those. He had been to the doctor like 3 or 4 times, right? And it was like diet, like, change your diet. Diet could help with memory and stuff. And then I just felt bad, even though he was an abusive asshole. I felt bad because I'm fucking with his head. You know what I mean? He's like really gonna go fucking crazy. So I never told him, but I just stopped fucking with everything. This other time I was dating a guy and he was cheating on me and I knew he was cheating on me, but I wanted to fuck with him. So I had these really nice walkie-talkies from a previous relationship. We used to like to go to Big Bear. He would go hiking and I'd go fishing. Cell phones are no good up there, so we would use the walkie-talkies to talk. Anyways, one night while I'm going through his phone while he's sleeping and confirming that he's cheating on me, the next time I go over there, I bring my walkie-talkies. I put the walkie-talkie in his closet. And over a span of 2 weeks, when I know he's home, I randomly hop on the walkie-talkie and just start saying shit like, liar, cheater. In the middle of the night, I park down the street close enough in range to talk, and I just start saying shit like that in a weird distorted voice. I use one of those machines. And in these 2 weeks, I'm going over there, and every time I go over there, I swap out the batteries, and I change the location of the walkie-talkie, right? So it's not just in the closet. And every time I see this motherfucker, he has darker and darker circles under his eyes. He looks shittier and shittier, like he's not getting any sleep. And this one night, I had just got done watching Game of Thrones. So that night, I'm like, shame, shame. So this motherfucker calls me, screaming, crying like a little fucking girl, talk about, baby, I need you to come and do a cleansing, because you know it's on my blue haters and my wish that I do that type of shit. So I go over there with my sage, and I'm cleansing the place, and I'm pretending to make contact with the spirits. I'm waving my sage around, making a fucking scene, and I'm like, oh, she's telling me you have a secret? You're hiding something from me? And he finally fucking breaks down and just starts telling me everything. Everything with tears in his eyes, like gagging and shit. And after he tells me everything, he's like, is she gonna leave me alone?
Hi guys, welcome back. Happy Saturday. I am getting ready to head out for the night, but I wanted to drop a quick think piece before I did. I've seen a lot of discourse on the internet this week, and I'm finding it so interesting that the same group of people that's usually so up in arms about violent criminals being let back out on the streets and anti-rehab programs and all that jazz, the same people that are like, violent criminals 100% will act again. There's no rehab in the world that could fix that. Blah, 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 blah. Silent about Jesse Butler's in Oklahoma. Silent. In case you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, Jesse Butler is an 18-year-old man, because he's an adult, in Stillwater, Oklahoma, who at the beginning of 2024 was found guilty of strangling and brutally raping two 16-year-old girls. One of the two girls strangled so aggressively she had to get repairing surgery on her neck because it was mutilated. Very horrific, very aggressive actions, very telling of someone's character. He went from facing nearly 80 years in prison, 80 years in prison, to taking a guilty plea, admitting he committed the crimes, and getting community service and counseling. Don't get me wrong, there are people up in arms, rightfully so, but they're not the same people who were screaming and crying a couple months ago about illegal immigrants committing crimes. Before the MAGAs fly to my comments, so his crimes are worth more because he's white? No, but you guys are all hypocrites. You're all hypocrites. Why are you so up in arms when it's someone of color, but when a white boy rapes two girls brutally and admits guilty, oh, he has a whole life ahead of him. Well, he's just a little baby. You guys prove time and time again it's just an excuse for your racism. Truly. Like, I'm upset at any crime happening in our country. Any crime. I don't care what color they are. I'm upset at a violent criminal. Certain group of people loves to sit it out when it's a white kid. They especially love to sit it out when it's a sex crime, because apparently those don't count as much. Gross and obvious, and I clock it, and the next time you're up in arms about some legal immigrant selling weed and saying he needs to be in prison for life, I'm gonna remind you of this one and why you didn't care. So, okay. Have a good night, guys.
Join the live and comment LeBron James.
My friend picked me up at the airport. This is like where it gets like really bad. My family has no idea where I am. I ran away. They don't know my phone number. So I'm off with my friend Jill, one of my good friends. She's sober today. She's got 3 years. But we were getting high together. So she picks me up and she's driving me to Eugene. She's in the car sniffing Oxy. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I really want it. I'm like, should I do it? In my head, I'm like debating it like the devil and the angel.
Oh, I hate when that, back and forth in your head. That's the worst place to be.
Oh my God, I know. And I really didn't want to do it. But I'm like, fuck it. Like, let's just do it. So I did it. And that's when I became homeless in Brooklyn. So I started living on the streets with Eugene, homeless in Brooklyn.
He was living with his parents, but he went out.
They kicked him out.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we're homeless in Brooklyn, and my family has no idea where I am. They don't know what's going on. They're scared. My aunt's crying. Everything's a mess. And I'm just like living from hotel to hotel on the street. And it just gets messy. But it's still not as bad yet. It's still not that bad. Like, I'm figuring it out still. I'm like, I got this one sending me money, this one sending me money. Like, I got cousins helping me. And then I ended up telling my dad where I was, my mom and dad. And then they helped me a little bit. And then they were like, no, we're like not helping you anymore. Mm-hmm. So it got bad, like anyone else would when you're on the street. And I just couldn't take it anymore. And I was like, Eugene, I'm like, I got it. I was sick. We couldn't get anything that day. Mind you, throughout this whole process, we're doing things to like rob things and showering in the park bathroom. And I found a bundle of dope one time on the floor, and I was like, this is the best day of my life.
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing. And I'm like, so it was just like very like, some days I had it, some days I didn't. I didn't want to be sick anymore.
Yep.
Hey guys, scared of me, day 2 post wisdom teeth surgery. So I already showered today, I already blow dried and straightened my hair. Anyways, I'm probably just gonna like lay in bed and look through Pinterest and make my Christmas list and do all that stuff today, but I want to look good doing it because like, why not? So that's what we're doing right now. My skin is low-key not that good. I think it's from my face, like my ice pack wrap. I think like it's trapping moisture and making me break out a little bit, which is no good. That's fine, honestly. It helps with the swelling, I think. So a win is a win. Bro, they took off my 2 nails so that they could take my pulse, and I'm really sad because my nails looked so good before and they'd grown out so well. Like, they don't even look bad. Now I have to get them redone, which is so annoying. So annoying, but I'll get over it. It's whatever. Life moves on. I'm annoyed because I didn't want to have to get my nails done. I hate getting my nails done. It's fine. I'm low-key scared it's gonna hurt to do my makeup and like blend stuff in, because just like putting serum on my face like kind of hurts. But I literally had a blast yesterday. Like, I came under the anesthesia, like I came out of it and I was laughing, cracking jokes, singing, dancing. Like, I was having the time of my life. I took selfies, I was taking videos, I made my surgeon take a selfie with me and my mom. It was a great time, and like I wasn't even that high off the laughing gas. Like, I was still like pretty level-headed and like could function and process, which like some people can't do that. Some people were just like coming out of that sobbing, and I was having a jolly grand time. And then I went to the football game like 8 hours later. It's just like, what? Okay, I really want like 7 Bro or Dutch Bros right now, so I called my cousin and she didn't answer, but I really want to go, and I really want to get one of their like Christmas drinks, because like I'm in Christmas pajamas and I'm just like in the Christmas mood, and I have a vanilla candle going. I just really want to do that, but she's not answering me, so maybe not. I could ask my mom, but like she definitely does not want to drive that far, and she doesn't care for that kind of stuff, so I'm just gonna assume that it's just not gonna happen. Okay, wait, I'm lucky mid-eyebrow, but I'm gonna put my lip stain on just so that it stays longer. Okay, now I'm gonna prime my face just with the e.l.f. Target primer. I just have to be gentle on my cheeks, but everywhere else I'm fine. Okay, now we're gonna do some foundation. I'm not even gonna spot conceal because there's literally no point. I'll just go over it with other makeup. This is the first time I've done this in a while. It's been like 2 days, who am I kidding? Okay, now we're gonna do some contour. I really need to go to Sephora. I need to get a new contour, but I just haven't yet. I really want to go though. I just want to, there's so much I want to do, and since it's like the gap weekend before I go back to school, because I don't even know if I'm going to school on Monday, but it is the day that the new trimester begins. But it's like the week that I don't have any homework or responsibilities, and I just have so much that I want to get done, but of course like I'm out of it, so it's just like, it's so frustrating because so much could have been done this weekend. I took my lip stain off, but it's showing up like a weird color, like it doesn't show up like that normally. I don't know why. But now I'm contouring my nose, and then I'm gonna do some blush, and then I'll basically be done. Okay, I put a different lip mask or lip stain on because that other one did not show up right, but now, oh my gosh, there's hair everywhere. I'm so overstimulated. I'm gonna do some blush. Ew. Why is there actually hair everywhere? I'm disgusted right now. We have this blush, and then we're also gonna do this blush. Gosh, I look ridiculous right now, bro. Okay, it's fine. Now, where is my blush brush? My blush brush is missing, unless it's right here. It's right here. I'm gonna blend this in. Okay, my makeup kind of looks like crap. That's okay. I'm gonna do some concealer, and hopefully that'll like bring it all together. Okay, now I'm gonna set my face, and I think this will make it look better because it looks a little bit rough right now, but like, just give it a minute, it'll look fine. Okay, now I'm gonna set my face. I think my makeup looks fine. Like, it's not perfect, but also my self-tan got all messed up during the surgery, so I think it looks fine. Okay, I went downstairs to get mashed potatoes, and I let my makeup marinate, and I think it looks better. Now I'm gonna do my lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, my lashes are done. This is what my makeup looks like. It's low-key not that good of makeup, but I tried. I hope everyone has an amazing day.